Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's JJ. Today we're coming back a video basically talking about Flux Node itself. Let's say you've been following my channel previously. 1 year ago, I've done videos like talking about Flux itself. Is it like which one is better, mining or staking, and after that, the pros and cons. Then after that, I've done a video talking about how do you set up your own full Flux Node itself. Then after that, how much can you make from staking Flux token. So in today's video itself, I'm going to explain and after that guide you through on how did I set up like 21 Cumulus node. And of course, if let's say you have been following previously, you might be you know that I'm running a Nimbus node, but why did I convert my Nimbus node into the Cumulus node? In this video, you're gonna find out everything. And after that, if let's say you're looking into Flux staking itself, this video is gonna be perfect for you. And after that, from there, you can understand which one should you go for. And after that, my recommendation might basically help you out. So if let's say you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notification. Join my Discord or Telegram. Do check out Patreon as well. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into how did I stake 21 Cumulus node. So for those who have been following the channel back then, I've done like notes like talking about how do I set up my Nimbus node, and after that running Nimbus node, basically it's gonna cost like 12.5k worth of Flux token. As of today, price itself it is roughly, let's do a math, so 12,500. Today itself is gonna cost you 8,000 over dollars to run a Nimbus node. And over here, I believe that this amount might scare you and you might be thinking, hey, this is too much. And after that, why am I even doing Flux? Because previously, back then, if you watched my video, my Flux itself entry point was at $1.50 and have basically slashed in 50% in value. And after eventually, I have been stacking more Flux token. And eventually, right now, you can see as of today, my average price is 0.97. So I'm not showing this number over here to scare you with a negative of like 30% on the price of Flux itself. But to be honest, I'm not too afraid of Flux itself because I understand the project and I believe that there's going to be like a breakthrough for Flux itself because we are looking at it competing with Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud itself, but of course that they technically do not have much liability on hardware side because they are smart by basically asking people to join into the network, providing their resources on the hardware, then they use it to utilize to make profit for everybody. So over here I'm saying that this over here is just one of my views about Flux, and you can basically do your own research before jumping to it. So how do I run like 21 Cumulus node? I'm going to show you my Zelle wallet. So over here on the wallet itself, you can see that I have 21 Cumulus node that is running, which I'm not going to pull up the whole address. I might do so. So over here, you can see over here, yeah. I'm going to pull it up. Over here, you can see that I have 21 Cumulus node that is all being confirmed. And over here, I'm just going to scroll it down to you. Everything is confirmed over here. And the rewards itself has not been distributed yet because I've just started this project like 2 weeks, or I would say 2 to 3 weeks ago. And after that, with the help of BMO Blockchain itself, I'm going to explain to you later on how do I get all of this set up later on in the video. So we're going to talk about how much can you earn by running 21 Cumulus node like my case itself. So we here on the Flux official site itself, 1 Cumulus node per day is going to give you around 0.23 Flux actual token, and of course additional 0.23 in the Flux token in form of other chain like Ethereum, Matic, and many more side chain out there. But I'm just going to focus on the actual rewards that you're getting on the Flux main chain itself. So this over here, you're getting like times, for my case itself, I'm getting 21 of this per day. Per day is going to give me around 4.83 worth of Flux. And if I hit on the price conversion itself, daily itself is getting $3.44. But this is not including the additional rewards on the other chain itself. So basically it's a double of the value. So a day itself, I'm looking at earning $6 in the Flux token for my 21 nodes itself. So how much you can earn itself depending on how much tokens, how much that you want to go for. If let's say you're going for the Nimbus itself, I would say do not do the Nimbus because if let's say you do the math correctly, per day itself, one Cumulus itself is 1k nodes, 1k Flux token, then Nimbus itself is 12.5k. So if let's say you take this amount over here, multiply it by 12 nodes itself, you're getting like 2.76, and for Nimbus itself, it's just offering you 1.62 nodes, 1.62 Flux token, which if you do the math itself, running 12 Cumulus is much more better. But over here, here's the question. In Singapore itself, I'm running my network on Singapore, so this will be relevant for those who are looking to run their network on Singapore, or maybe other places that your IP provider allows you to basically get multiple IP, public IP addresses. So for my case itself, how I run this node itself is using MyRepublic, using the dual network nodes, basically running two of these public IP addresses out there that they are currently offering. For the plan itself is the no frills 2 Gbps broadband. basically this plan itself is giving me like two, or on the ONT network itself is giving me two LAN cable, which will give me two public IP addresses, so I can run two nodes, two times of this 8 Cumulus node on my network itself. So for the hardware requirement itself, where did I get it? So for my hardware itself, I'm going to link this page down below, basically using the BMO Blockchain solution. If let's say you are keen to basically get like running whatever kind of nodes, any cryptocurrency nodes itself with BMO itself, they are basically a customization web service provider that do blockchain solution. Basically, let's say you're looking to run a Flux node of how many Cumulus or how many Cetrus or maybe Nimbus node that you want to run, just tell them, and after you can just enter everything over here and referred by, just type in SECrypto. You will get a sweet deal out of it, because I'm basically partnered with them. Because why they are partnered with them itself is simple, because their customer service out there is top notch, and the website itself that they are giving is slightly different from other site that is just pushing it for sale. Because let's say you're pushing it for sale, you can just click on details and it will basically it asks you to add card and basically purchase everything. But over here, they are telling you a lot of information that you need to know on their website itself. For example, over here you can see that this over here is telling you the device that they are offering. This is one of the device, and of course they can do customization for you depending on your needs and solution that you are going to do. So basically I would say that their customer service is very 24/7, and I would say that the owner behind it, Bart itself, is very helpful and made me understand many more things about Flux nodes itself, rather than just running the nodes itself. Technical terms itself, I learned a lot with BMO blockchain itself. So the hardware, I got it with them, and my hardware itself, I gotten the, let me throw it down. So over here I gotten this max node, not max node, max node plus. So running 16 Cumulus on this single device itself. This single device is running 18 of this Cumulus node and other nodes that I'm trying to run. So hardware wise itself is roughly using 16 CPU core with the AMD. Do not know which version, but it's on the AMD side. Then after that, over here, RAM itself is 128 GB if I'm not wrong. Then for the terabyte wise itself, for the memory is around, where do I get it? So if I'm not wrong, it's around 2 terabyte. Yeah, 2 terabyte and it's terabyte. Yeah, 2 terabyte of NVMe onto this itself. And after that, I would say that they done some over here and there. So I do not know actually how much inside, but I believe it's around 2 terabyte on the invoice that I received from BMO blockchain solution. So over here, you will say like, okay, so after all of this is done, how did I like actually run it with the help of BMO solution, BMO blockchain itself? I basically asked them about questions about, because I told them I want to run like maybe converting my Nimbus node into Cumulus. So Bot itself explained to me that, made me understand again that for Flux itself, you are only able to run like 8 nodes on a single IP address. So this is very critical for you guys if let's say you have the budget to do like a Nimbus node itself, but on top of that, you might want to receive much more money. Basically, much more money is basically running 12 Cumulus node, but over here there's some limitation on their requirements itself. You can only run 8 nodes on a single IP address, and of course over here I managed to get like additional IP address from MyRepublic. Basically in Singapore itself, this is the only broadband that I can find that is offering 2 public IP address for residential use cases. But over here, you have to know that using MyRepublic itself, you will need to basically activate their static IP address. So one static IP address activation is around 50 to 60 bucks, 50 to 60 Sing dollar. So here to activate both itself is around 100 to 120, depending on how much you want to activate. So for my case, I activated both because I asked them, okay, so for your case itself, can I like run my nodes? But eventually I've gotten everything running, but my nodes was basically telling me that telling me like there's error. They can't the Flux can't communicate with the public addresses itself. Let's say you do this Flux, this over here, I'm going to show you what do I mean by that. So let's say you have been running Flux, you might know the Flux node build script itself. So over here on the log page itself, over here on the first tab itself, you will be seeing like, if let's say everything is perfect, you'll see all of this. Basically, it's telling you the cost, and after that, all the stats over here to tell you that it is successful. It's running successfully. So over here, this is running successfully. So previously, when I was with MyRepublic itself, without the static IP address, I found out that, hey, why is my Flux node like not communicating properly with the public IP address? And there's a lot of issue with whatever I'm doing. So I contacted their support itself. They told me that you need to have the IP address, the static IP address, to get everything working itself. So I understood it because they use this thing called a CG net. which on Flux itself running on CGNet broadband itself is almost impossible to run, but there's a solution for that. Much more complicated and technical onto the CGNet itself. Let's say your IP provider itself is doing this CGNet, I would say you might want to contact your IP provider before you buy any of this itself. So this is a guide for you. If let's say you're keen to run Cumulus Node, you have to ask if let's say they are running on like the CGNet. If let's say they are running on CGNet, you might want to look for other solution on the Flux ecosystem wiki page to basically know how to you bypass that. Very technical. And after that, over here for MyRepublic itself, I've done this to got 2 IP address and static address. Then with the help of BMO blockchain mining solution, basically I got it running up in like within a week time itself. And after that, all of this setup simple, just copy cloning the nodes itself, and after that with the help of bot to make me understand much more about Flux node. Eventually I'm running 16 of these now, and after that another 8 of this device itself is running on another IP address, which is located at another address, which is having another IP address. So basically utilizing my resources to basically build all of this Flux node ecosystem out there. So if let's say you are interested in running your Flux itself, would I recommend it? So I would say if let's say you have time to basically understand like what is what is the IP address stuff, and after that what is Flux doing, and after that you have some time on your hand to basically understand how do you set up the node itself. It is not a very simple like plug and play solution. Like if let's say you're running the Ethereum node using DM node itself, it's fairly simple. It's just a plug and play solution. But with Flux node itself, there's no sort of there isn't an interface for you to do like a plug and play type of solution. With Flux instead, BMO itself, they are offering the hardware part itself to help you set it up. And on top of that, once you have set up the hardware, they can help you create all of these like what is that, your virtualized machine itself, your VM container itself on the Proxmox server. And eventually you will still need to know how to do your settings like your DNS and after that some networking stuff. If let's say you understand all of that, I would recommend you to basically buy from them because their devices is fairly cheap. So honestly, running 16 Cumulus node itself on some of other website out there, the competitor site like what is that, the Seed Studio. Previously, I got my Seed Studio reserver at around 800 plus USD, which only can run one Nimbus node, recommended for one Nimbus node only. And after that, eventually the CPU itself is not that strong. So when I got this device from BMO Blockchain Solution, I was looking like on my head itself, I'm thinking that maybe whatever they're offering, it is gonna cost me around 2K like US dollar or even 3K US dollar. But eventually they just gave me a quote which was less than 2,000 US dollar, which I was surprised. It is freaking cheap, and I would say that highly recommend to basically support them. And I would say that support the customer service itself is super good because from all of my devices purchasing on the cryptocurrency or say like hardware store itself, I would say BMO itself is one of the site that really surprised me with their customer service and their in-depth knowledge, technical knowledge on the project that I'm trying to do. So for this itself, should you run it? If let's say you have capital, you can buy the Flux token and consider running many Cumulus node. If let's say you can find like friends' houses or family houses to host your devices to run your Cumulus node, or like 8 times Cumulus node over there. Then after that, on your home address, you get MyRepublic, or maybe your ISP is willing to give you additional IP address with static IP address. You can consider that, and after that, from there you can build your whole farm of like Cumulus nodes at home itself. So for my case, I'm running 21, and as of today, it's not really yielding anything yet because I've set it up recently and there's a lot of roadblocks that I've been through, and this is a fresh start with my Flux node itself. 21 Cumulus node is going to accumulate me the amount over here, around $3 US dollar in Flux token, and I'm going to hold all of this token, and eventually, hopefully, the price of Flux will go up whatever that it is predicted to do so. So on 2022, it went up to $3. We might get back to this region itself if let's say Flux delivering whatever that they are trying to achieve. And of course, I would say everything takes time, and Flux itself, I'm very confident with this project because it is the one that is out there doing this type of like what is that, VPS type of solution competing with the Amazon Web Services out there. So without further ado, if let's say you have not subscribed to the channel, you like this content, smash the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and join my Discord or Telegram if let's say you need help like understanding more about Flux and how do you set it up, join my Discord or Telegram. I'm gonna do my best to support you over there, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye. Peace.